Hi Robert. So today we're going to give you a crash course lesson in beginning flute. I know you've never played flute before, you're a bassoon player, but these are our three parts of the flute. We've got our head joint, our foot joint, and our body. We're going to start with the head joint. This is obviously what makes the sound, and this is our little, this is where we're going to blow into. But unlike all the other instruments, we blow across the hole, like this. So what I'm doing, I'm forming my embouchure, which all instruments have embouchures, but each one is a little bit different. It's got a little bit of differences. So what we're going to do is where I place my lip, if you can see, I'm resting it, this is on the bigger end. See, there's a small end and a big end, and the open hole will be on your right side. So we're just going to start out with the head joint. My lip is coming pretty close to the hole. It actually goes over the hole just a little bit, if you can see. You don't want too much because then you're not going to get any air in at all. And if your lip isn't even touching the hole, you're not going to get any sound at all. So it's kind of finding a happy medium of see what I mean? If I go too far in or out, it'll be strange. So see if you can just hold it up like this. And just put it in your two hands. Perfect. Yeah, and put it up to your lip. Kind of, don't roll your bottom lip out at all. Just be normal. Take the flute down. Perfect. Now bring it up. Yeah, and have this. See the part, the part where your lip changes color from red to white? Try and put that right on the edge of the hole. Good, good. And kind of let your lip roll down just a little bit. You don't want to make it super flat. Good. Now try just going. Can you just go? Take one bit. I'll count to 4 and try saying 2. For example, I'll go 1, 2, 3. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now that's kind of the basic forming of where you want the flute, but we don't have the embouchure quite yet. So in order to, you've got it in the right placement. The white of the lip is touching here. But now we need to make the embouchure so that we actually get a noise. Because if I just go 2, I'm not getting a sound because I'm not using the right embouchure. So for this, we're going to pretend like we're spitting rice. Have you ever spit watermelon seeds or anything like that? Mm-hmm. Perfect. So imagine putting a single piece of rice on your tongue. Can you stick your tongue out like this? Perfect. Stick out a little bit more. Like you're going to place a piece of rice on there. So like this. And then imagine, actually take your finger and put a piece of rice on there. And now go. Perfect. Try bringing your tongue in when you do it. Watch me. Good. Now try and keep your corners a little bit more firm. We're not really trying to get super firm corners, but we also don't want to be puffy cheeks. So we're going to put an imaginary piece of rice here. And I'm bringing it in and kind of saying 2 at the same time. Good. And you can try and make sure you bring your tongue back more. You're kind of going, keeping your tongue in there. Try it with me. 1, 2, 3. Good. Here, try and blow to my hand and do it. Good. Let's see that tongue again. Kind of form your embouchure. Good. Have the corners in a little bit. Good. And now just say, good. Now this is tricky, and it takes a long time to get a sound on the flute. When I first started, it took me basically all of our first hour class just to make any noise. But I'm going to do the same thing. Put the edge right on the white of my lip, where it changes color. And stick my tongue out a little bit even. Oh, see, that didn't even work. You get a nice clear sound. Now you're not going to get that nice a sound right away. It takes practice, but that's what we're here for. So try and put it in the right spot. We want it perfectly even. We don't want it too far left and right. You look pretty good. And make sure it's touching the right spot. You can even make it, you're covering the hole a little bit much. Perfect. Now stick your tongue out. Good. Maybe a little bit less tongue. That's alright. And now try just blowing. Good. Try and make it quicker, like. Good. I think you might actually be blowing a little bit too far forward. Try and direct your air a little bit more into the hole. Good, good, good. Here, let me show you once more. When I'm doing it, I'm kind of aiming my air downwards. So I'm going. So I'm thinking of my air hitting the back wall back here. Because that's what makes the sound. You know, usually it's a reed vibrating or a mouthpiece, your lips are buzzing. But here, your air hits the back wall of this flute back here. And that's what we're trying to do. So you add the perfect position. So I'm trying to think of a real steady airflow, just like you would on a bassoon, you know. We're not doing anything different with our air. We're still, except maybe directing it in a little bit different spot. But we're not going to have suddenly like kind of silly air like all over the place. It still needs to be directed. Let's see if you can try it one more time. Yeah, get your embouchure good. That looks pretty good. Try rolling out just a little bit. Yeah, and direct that airflow farther down. And stick your tongue a little bit. And go for it. Stop, just for a second. Let's bring this over just a hair. Yeah, we want it dead center, right underneath your nose. There you go. You're starting to get a sound. Now stop, hold on. We're just going to do one at a time, because I know it's easy to keep trying and trying and trying. But you're starting to actually get some sound, you know, you're experimenting. Sometimes you need to roll a little bit more in if you're too far out. You just need to find the sweet spot, like I said earlier. So I'll just count to 4 and we'll do it at the same time. I'll do the motion and you do it with the flute. Stick that tongue out a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Good. We'll just do it for a quarter note. 1, 2, 3. Good. You brought your tongue in a little quick that time. You were like 1, 2, 3. You're a little overzealous. And obviously flute players don't actually keep their tongue out when they do it. But this is just a way that helps us to learn to play. Let's try it one more time, you by yourself. 1, 2, 3. Good. Faster air. Try faster air. 1, 2, 3. Good. You're starting to get some sound. Try it one more time, just on your own. Good. Hear what you're getting at the very start? That's what we're looking for. You're starting to get it. Very good, very good. Alright, that's a good job. You're really getting it. It's hard to get a sound at first. But now that you've started to get an idea, I just want to help you put the flute together so you know how to put it together. It's easier to make a sound on this than the whole flute because you have a lot less tubing to deal with. So, do you remember what these parts of the flute are called? This is the
head joint.
Perfect. This is the
it's the end part.
Right, it's the foot joint.
Okay.
Which is strange. You got a head and a foot. It's not like a head and a bottom. I don't know. They call it the foot joint. And this is called...
Is it the body?
Yeah, just the body. Simple as that. So what we're going to do, so that you know how to put it together, the head joint goes into this end of the body. See how it's got a little bit longer end without any keys? But here at the end, the keys go all the way to the end. We're going to put it in the end that doesn't have any keys. Put it about there. I have some nail polish on mine so I can kind of match it up. They won't always, but that's a good way to do it. You should have it about here, maybe a little bit out, but that's how you tune, is taking it in and out. And see where the hole is? That's going to line up perfectly with our keys. So if you look down, you can see that they're perfectly lined up. Here, I'll mess it up a little bit. Can you make sure it's perfectly lined up for me? Don't be afraid to really shove it. I don't think that's lined up. This should be perfect. There we go. That's looking pretty good. And now the foot joint just goes on the back. We want to put this in end. See how it's got a little doohickey? Put that in the end. And the foot joint has this little line, and that goes in the dead center of the keys. So these keys are not lined up with these. This would be an imbalanced flute. That's not how we want it. The keys don't line up on here. The line lines up with the center. So it's line, center of the keys, all the way to where we blow into. And so this is how we put our flute together. Now, can you show me how to put it together real quick? See if you can do it yourself.
Start with this thing. You cheat if we got the nail polish on.
That's right. It's a little bit cheating, but that's okay. We could use the
But
help.
if I didn't have the nail polish,
Exactly.
I'd line it up with the keys here.
Perfect.
It's just a little bit pulled out.
Yeah, that's fine. And you have to experiment if you're flat or sharp pulling in and out.
This thing is on here, and we want to line this up right with the keys, right? This
Right. And where does the line, the little bar go?
The post goes right down the middle here, right?
Perfect. So that's perfect setup. Now, the only thing left I want to teach you is where your hands go. So on the flute, our hands are going to go on the body. And our left thumb, can you stick out your left thumb for me? It's going to go right on this key right here. This is our thumb key. There's a couple, but we want it on this one. And our left hand fingers are going to go 1, 2, 3, right here. Can you show me that? Left thumb, right. And this is tricky because there's a lot of left hand fingers. We go skip one, hit, skip, hit, hit.
Okay.
So skip, finger, finger.
Skip that.
Perfect.
That could
And then your left thumb will actually go on the right half. Perfect. And then your right hand, here, let me see. Your right hand will go 1, 2, 3, the last 3. And your thumb just kind of rests, not on any key, just right there.
Okay.
Perfect. And then your pinky is free to hit any of those pinky keys, but it'll kind of hover above. So that's how you hold the flute. Now, can you try and put your embouchure by the tone hole, just like you had it before? Perfect. And so that's another big balancing point. Your left thumb and your left hand and your right hand, and then your chin is kind of what balances it. Because sometimes we have to have the keys open, obviously. And we can do that because it's also contacting the chin. So now you look like you've got really good setup. Try and move this thumb a little bit farther back maybe. Have nice curved hands. Like here your hands are very curved. You could probably move it a little bit farther. Yeah, perfect. Now let's see if we can make a sound again. It's not going to be easy, but it's worth a shot. Perfect. Now hold on. Are you pressing any keys down at all? Alright, let's try pressing down 1, 2, 3 on the left hand, and only that. Try it again. Good. Now this time I want you to take a really nice big breath. Hold on 1 second.